comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So a good friend of the family passed away of a heart attack today, which makes it a lot of dead people since I've been here. I haven't even been mentioning them all because it seems to happen like once a week. Someone we know dies. Heart attack, there was a suicide. One of the cousins committed suicide. There was all those COVID deaths when COVID was an actual thing. It's fucking crazy here. There's either a funeral or a wedding to go to at least twice a week. Last Sunday, my mother-in-law went to 3 weddings on one day. And that happens regularly. But anyway, this dude who passed away, he was a cop. He was like a high-ranking cop. And just as a side note, shout out to all the cops who have joined the Patreon. I appreciate it. You're one of the biggest vocational demographics now. It goes drug dealers first, cops second, doctors third, with a special mention to the unemployed. Cop was not a demographic that I thought I was going to reach, but it turns out cops are human as well. It turns out cops have sense of humor like the rest of us. It kind of feels suspicious though. Maybe they're just gathering evidence. So anyway, this cop who passed away, the family friend, he always, no matter where we were, he would come straight to me and park me up for a fucking chat. He usually seems slightly drunk, but he was one of the guys I didn't mind getting harassed by. And he couldn't really understand me and I couldn't really understand him. The last time I spoke to him was at my sister-in-law's wedding, and he comes up to me and he's like, "I'm going to your wedding." And I'm like, "My wedding? You're going to my wedding?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to your wedding." And I'm like, "I'm already married." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to your wedding." And I'm like, "Oh, you mean you went to my wedding?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to your wedding. Remember?" And I'm like, "No, I don't remember, but if you say so." But my wife's parents are devastated. Everyone's going over to see the body tonight. He was 47 with 2 young kids as well. There's been a lot of fucking heart attack action lately. I think I'm going to go in and get my heart checked. Like properly, thoroughly fucking checked. I'm going to get them to put that dye in and see if there's any blockages, because I'm sure there's got to be some fucking blockages. I ate KFC between 3 and 6 days a week for most of my child and adult life. Surely some of that potato and gravy is lodged in my arteries somewhere. And that's just KFC. It wasn't like, aside from KFC, I was living a healthy, happy life. On top of that, you're looking at ice creams, chocolate, fucking 5 coffees a day, bacon, just fucking mountains of bacon. That's just food as well. On top of that, you're talking darts, drugs, alcohol. And that's just intake as well. It wasn't like I was burning any of those calories off. I didn't exercise for about 15 years. I mean, there was a few months here and there, but I was never working off the KFC, that's for sure. My exercise regime never outstripped my KFC intake. If I haven't done any damage, then I don't know what the fuck is going on. And heart attack is the only thing I'm really worried about as well. I'm not really worried about anything else. I don't think I'll get anything else. Years ago, I had a flash, a vision of the way I was going to go, and it was a heart attack. So I'm a little bit paranoid about it, and I think that will be the way I go, but I don't want it to be soon. I want to delay it a while. And I've been meaning to go get my heart checked for years, and I just never have. I'm going to have to do it tomorrow now that I've done this podcast, because I don't want this to end up being one of those things like he predicted his own death. He knew he was going to die of a heart attack. I actually feel like going and getting my heart checked right now, right this second. I don't want there to be too much time between the release of this podcast and getting my heart checked, just in case fate wants to play a cruel joke on Le Boyala. So I want to go in and I want to get that dye injected into me. I think they can do that. Don't they do it to check for blockages? They put a dye in your fucking veins and then they photograph it or x-ray or some shit. The dye is probably carcinogenic and the x-ray fucks with your DNA, so you're fucked either way. But I want them to put that dye in. I want them to find out what's going on. I want to know myself so I can stop worrying about it. I want them to come back and say, the main artery to your heart was 99.9% blocked. We found a KFC chip in there and we have to remove it. We were going to use the artery from your leg, but we found a cigarette butt in there and an ice cream wrapper. It seems like you were in such a frenzy to eat the ice cream that you took a couple of bites out of the wrapper too. So I'm going to have to do that tomorrow now. Or ASAP. I was going to do it when I go to Chennai to my sister-in-law's hospital, just in case they have to whip me straight into surgery. I'm not even joking here as well. Surely there's some fucking damage done. Anyway, we'll find out tomorrow or over the next couple of days. So that's it for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, share it around and I'll see you the fuck later.